Welcome and good evening. This is Head to Toe with Dr. T. We've got a lovely couple. They will greet you in a moment. We've got a nice session for you. We're talking all issues around HIV disclosure, reproduction, and any headache around those issues, taking ARVs or not and whatever, suppressive viral load and meaning of those, circumcision, everything, the whole package, the Mayabas.
Molweni emakhaya Nozibele. Nkosi Doc Ngosi invite.
Nice having you.
Why not introducing me?
Hayi ngosiko.
Guys, i-results enazifani
Yes Doc.
kodwa niyafana nini seni-item
Doc bethuna abamanyiweyo.
senegazi linye nyamanye. Have you got any kids?
No, not yet. Not yet. School has
Any
a
plans?
son.
I have a son. Yeah,
Okay.
But not so baby.
Not so baby.
All right.
Correct.
Any plans to have a kid?
Yes, there are.
Noting that your results are not the same. We say your results are discordant.
Yes.
As fun,
Correct.
you are positive and he's negative. You are on treatment. Is he also on treatment?
While telling a treatment, he's on PrEP.
Okay.
What's called pre-exposure prophylaxis.
Wonderful.
Which is being taken by people who are considered high risk of being infected. It's just an extra, measurement that we have put into place. Talking about having kids, it is definitely something that is in our plans. We're actively trying to have one. But we also believe that when the time is right, it's going to happen. But it's been interesting because obviously there are different things that you consider. One, my HIV status, which is positive, making sure that continuously my viral load is suppressed through treatment, and also many years back, 9 months after I was diagnosed with HIV, I was still in denial. I was still having unprotected sex with the person that infected me, and I got pregnant.
Okay.
And because now I was afraid, I come from a very strict family, so I couldn't really comprehend, my family's disappointment. There's one thing in HIV, I also born, but then in HIV, I'm by you. It's a totally different ballgame, right?
Yeah.
So I decided now to terminate, which is something that I had disclosed to school as well when we met. So it's a constant, reminder, whenever we talk about having children, at the back of my mind, obviously there's different myths around, termination, abortion, but if you abort a child, does it decrease your chances of having another child? And if we're actively trying, then why have we not gotten pregnant? So it's something that we continuously, make sure, either a consultation with checking that everything is still fine. But yeah, I just want to paint a picture that there are those factors as well that are there.
It's cool. A lot of men become anxious, especially in your situation. You are in an HIV discordant relationship or marriage, and the tendency is that people think the impembe will collapse on the way once this thing comes to your head and so on. How are you coping?
Yeah,
How's life in marriage?
Even look, we are
Wonderful.
deliberate in making sure that upper enhliziyweni or nalapha engqondweni umuntu uzenzile.
Yeah.
We are comfortable. So yenza loo nto leyo ke indlela lesihambayo sobabili soloko noko indlela right enga-affecti engezinakuza kumpembe njengoba ndisitsho.
Wonderful.
So we are big on social media. What you see there, mhlawumbe sidlala thina.
Yeah.
It's basically our life. Ayonto siyifihlayo at all.
Wonderful.
But we are having adult activities okanye ke i-sex ke ndi-good ke kuyo mhlawumbi
You know what? Mandimsekele
menza good shame
hayi bani.
nalaa ndoda kuthiwa laa ndoda yayikhona ayisenza namaphutha wade wayazi kanti le nto kuthiwa yi-sex into enjeni so
You came with loads of orgasms.
so yonke le nto yenziwa ngabantu abanormal okanye affectekanga njengathi akho nto singayenzi.
Wonderful.
Nje yonke nje kakuhle.
Quality of life after diagnosis. That's very important for people who are watching to know that life goes on. That is why you've got such glowing skins.
Yes.
I'm so grounded in sexual medicine.
So those who think that bafumba ngo-deputy hayi madoda ndiphiwe kakuhle mna ungakho deputy ndise-right mosbe
Ayu. Kaloku kuyavala mawetsho.
hayi man.
On that, Doc, also, there's also an issue where, particularly as women, because I think I'm going to talk from my experience.
Yeah.
When you get diagnosed and then you start feeling resentful towards, sex, into zinjalo, because yayazi mhlambi, this is how I got infected.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be sexual anymore. Shame hayi zange ngibe nangxaki.
Eh?
Hayi shame.
Appetite yakho.
Hayi sanimele ngokudibana. Hayi sanimele ngokudibana.
Appetite yakho
Hayi don't write in the grand.
Yeah, that's very important, Nozi, that we are raising, because some people actually lose interest,
Absolutely.
loss of libido, and some people, especially on the men's side, they start having problems with erections because every time that thing strikes your head. But seemingly, Usku doesn't
No problem
have
whatsoever.
any of that. It's just pumping. That's wonderful. That shows that the quality of life with understanding can actually go on even after diagnosis. That's very important. Issue of reducing a possibility of getting infected. Circumcision is one of the issues we actually pump and push. Were you aware of such reduction measures? Because condom, ARVs, circumcision?
German teacher, when I wasn't aware of all of those things.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I am in Italian, I was 20 years old.
Okay.
So I did not know about this as well. Yeah. Risk.
Yes, by 60% actually. 60% reduction. Also, Sanji will actually help. So it's a good thing to do. And the fact that you're on ARVs and also the fact that she's on ARVs, do you know anything about viral load?
Yes, viral load. At first when I was diagnosed, we always continue to monitor a CD4 count.
Yeah.
When I was diagnosed, CD4 count was at 600. But over time, I started learning about now a viral load and how the virus is basically multiplying inside your body and why it's important to monitor that as well. You could have a CD4 count right, but then a viral load can say something else. So the total representation of viral load is very important, and how it continues to be suppressed is what it continues to be monitored. So through treatment, taking care of myself, mine continues to be suppressed.
Thank you so much. We're going to hold it there for now, and then we shall take it forward. Very nice conversation with the Mayabas. Welcome back to Head to Toe with Dr. T. We're talking HIV discordance and HIV concordance and living quality life and reproductive life after diagnosis. Hi guys.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Any plans to have kids?
Yeah, we want to have kids. 1 or 2. I just hope that they don't turn out like me.
So we've spoken about this at home, Tinasasi 7. Yeah, so and Kaya Gamato.
Okay.
So we then said that at least up until 50 or 2, then is our walk. So who's our Chika Pumalona Sikule nje kancinci
Kungenon.
So it's just a matter of finding bogota classes adult activities goal pushlo. So that no ade bambe.
Zibe twins. Yabona. Mhlawumbe set ezithu. No. One or two dogs that would be perfect. But again, when the time is right.
When the time is right. Are you currently trying?
Absolutely. We are trying. We again was very good when it comes to as in the process. In the literal sense, in terms of data, but also in different things such as monetary, my ovulation.
Yes.
I'm not someone who did those things. I didn't even know when I was ovulating. In the monetary is like, but okay, I had my period on the 28th of every month. And then the next month, around that time, I'm gonna have my period. So he's the one who's very good at, and through your programs, monitoring. Oh, okay, change of mood swings.
Yes.
This might be the reason she's ovulating. After a certain date. And so he's been very helpful in terms
very, very important. You see, you start counting from the day you start having your menses. That is your day 1. The day you start bleeding, that's your day 1. And then when you hit day 10, you know that by day 12, you could start ovulating. So it's always better because sperms can live for about 48 hours. So it's always better for school to deposit sperms as early as day 10 so that they wait there like soldiers.
Yeah.
And then when the egg, kufana nolinda umakoti mos. Umakoti uyalinda, indoda imapha ngaphandle, linda umakoti. Linda umakoti pha ngaphandle, day 10, he must put in sperms, and then they must wait there. Day 12, refill. Day 14, refill. Day 16, because the cycle will run from day 12 to day 16 in terms of ovulation. Then, because we don't know which day the egg will come in, but any day that it will come, the sperms will always be waiting there because the egg only lives 12 to 24 hours and then it dies. Whereas sperms can live for about 3-4 days. So it's always better to make sidalelwe ulinda. So it's a very important lesson for even our viewers to know that even in serodiscordancy, the quality of life, even in the presence of HIV, with responsibility, taking ARVs and making sure that viral load is suppressed, you can live quality life. And you mentioned circumcision. That is also a very important reduction method. I'm glad that you've mentioned that. Some people mention the tendency to lose erections every time this HIV thing comes to your head and then loss of erection. Have you experienced that?
I've never experienced that at all. I yes, for some reasons, and ingathi kukhona nje increased igazi apha ngaphakathi.
Yeah.
Funeke ndibe ndilandike. I think masiyithethe ngenyaniso doc into yobana ukwalulekwa kwengqondo kwenza izinto zibe lula.
Yeah.
Njengoba ndisitsho nje ngaphambili that so we talk a lot about these things. So yenza noba the speed at which you are able to resolve certain issues sibe quicker. Singabi nayo into ezohlala engqondweni ibe i-affecta kwelo.
Wonderful. And very, very important, you highlighted that she's taking treatment, you're taking treatment fully,
Yes.
meaning your viral load is suppressed, your CD4 count is up, is also well circumcised, and is also taking PrEP, which is a bonus.
Okay.
And the fact that, are you guys protecting or not protecting during intercourse? Noting that you are trying to have a child now.
I think
Protecting a condom.
Condom, yeah?
I say
I
over your
Since all of those things, because I think we've also
You've done everything. That's very
we've
good.
taken the time to do our research, but the chances of me infecting
Wonderful.
are very, very much minimal. So no, kolokala shem sasayeka.
Uyangenkai.
Yeah, siyabulela.
Wonderful. Chawe lama chawe. Chawe nomkamlezo. Philule sabathi. Uzovela lo mntana ngoku. This is very good. And it shows that the quality of life goes on as long as you are transparent and honest with each other, because some people are miserable. You are helping millions of people to know that there is life after HIV diagnosis, but it's important to be transparent and also to be honest with each other. The importance of circumcision reduces HIV by about 60%, and the fact that you're on ARVs, viral load is suppressed, then CD4 count is high. That is why you're moving up and down freely. Absolutely. Nobody can tell that you're living with HIV. And what you are doing for South Africa and also the international community is very, very important, because it highlights critical lessons. Because there are people who hang themselves out of HIV diagnosis. So you are giving hope to millions of people who actually follow the program. Thank you for sacrificing yourselves, and also the baby that is going to come soon. The baby is going to come soon. Umdavazo, especially noting Indoba.
I see, noted it down.
Yes.
And it's actually like a lesson learned from my side as well. As I said, and being a song who notices and tries to understand, okay, from day bani, or you must note this, okay, there's high chances on this day. Yeah. So I actually learned something new today. I really learned something new. And
the nice thing is that if it doesn't happen, we still have a chance of provoking things. We don't want you to hit menopause. You're still very young.
Yeah.
And this guy is still pumping.
Yes.
He's pumping a lot, and you guys are actually very important. Wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. It's good that you are not using any of those things, but you are relying on your natural energy, and also the chemistry and connection between the two of you, the transparency. It actually eases things up. And to our viewers, we will take a short break and a sip of water, and then we'll be back with the Mayabas. Welcome back to Head to Toe with Dr. T. We've got the Mayabas with us, HIV discordant couple, and they are living happily quality life. And they're here to share their life lessons with us so that we may learn as you grow, that life goes on after diagnosis. And here we are. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Good evening.
Ayimani cima iteletele entsimini.
Dark.
Because sometimes kuthi qatha laa nto uba hey kukho le nto i-results zethu azifani.
Doc, okay, let me be very transparent. Ucima kwempembe in most cases, okanye uluza interest in having sex. Sometimes kube kukho into that the couple is not talking about, okanye is not transparent about. Umhlambi, for example, umzekelo apha kuthi no-school. If uSchool kukho into angayiqondiyo, then ubone bana umhlambi akakho comfortable coming to me, yabona, and asking about it. Nozi, are you still taking treatment? Okanye, should we be using a condom? Mhlambi khona nje umbuzo, yabona, and just a reassurance to empower himself. It's just an opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
Okay, even from my side, now I'm constantly dealing with my own issues. I'm still, I fear that I'm infected. That's why communication is very important.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very important. We sometimes honestly underestimate just talk. Yeah, so it's an underlying issue, mostly psychologically. Questions that are not being answered, questions that are not being asked. So that's why you continuously need to make sure there's ample opportunity for the couple to just be transparent about, hey, enjoyika. And it's fine.
Are you guys ready to have a child?
The good thing about all of this is, and I call it as a benefit to us. We're talking about HIV, Kakul.
Okay.
And that opened up for more conversations basically as outside HIV. So yenza lona naxa bekhona couples kakade there's been a disagreement.
Yeah.
And huge one. So kwenza ke ngokuba sibe uncomfortable xa sizawulala singakwazanga ukuyiresolve. If siye sakwazi ukuyiresolve, believe me, so siyahlala bebhedini kude kusekubaphandle up until such time siyakwazi
There's a
so
resolution.
yasenza sakwazi ubana le nto sithi zii-rules of engagement and ne-agreements into yobana xa sithe sane-disagreements, what steps do we take to make sure that we at least siyaziclarify because many a times xana singavumelani suke singakwazanga ukuyiclarifya into clearly. So yasinceda kakhulu ke into yobana sithethe kakhulu nge-HIV.
Wonderful. You guys are moving all around and you've got high-flying lives. Don't people get to judge you about the status?
It happens, Doc, all the time. There's just going to be people always have something to say. Yeah, I have me living positive with HIV. You get sometimes people feeling, maybe anything I do is being judged against how school feels, and constantly now having to defend how school, like what position is school at. And sometimes I feel it's unfair because now there's an underlining tone about there's certain things I can't do because I'm HIV positive.
Yeah.
And school undenzele favor for us to be in a relationship. And that has never been the case from the word go. So Manditi, for example, I'm a lady, I have moods, I lash out sometimes like any other, person. And me doing that does not justify that
Blackmail.
Yes, that emotional blackmail that really as a society, as a community, we need to get away from that. Because that's why people struggle a lot to disclose, because there's a favor, so I'm just gonna do what to my ends.
Talking about disclosure, some people tend to be silent about the issue of HIV until they deliberately infect their partners. Then when they assume that you are both positive, then they start talking about testing. It's good that you are I encourage and actually applaud the fact that you played your cards up front and then you got into something that you knew. This is the situation, and either you take it or leave it. I wish everybody could be like that, because it means you are assisting the country, you are assisting the world in terms of reducing the incidence of HIV, and well done on that. In terms of you are planning to have children. Any fears, any doubts, any things that you would like to raise for the sake of our viewers so that they benefit from your own concerns?
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing that is on my mind is the fact that I am not young anymore. I am relatively a good age. I'm 44, and she's 30 years. So it's basically, the more we go, seeing than as far as we conceive, but what impact will this have on us as a married couple?
That's very important.
But otherwise, no.
For your sake and the sake of other viewers, it's important to have what is called timed intercourse. It's high time ovulation. You've got an ovulation calendar.
Yes.
When she goes on periods, you mark the calendar that this is day 1, so that when you hit day 10, you deposit sperms. Day 12, you deposit sperms. Day 14, you deposit sperms. Day 16. Then you're increasing the chances. That is what is important. You can have sex multiple times, but if the timing is wrong, then the chances of conception are close to 0. So timing is very, very, very important. Even for our viewers, they must understand that. And the fact that viral load is suppressed and is also circumcised, the chances of him getting infected are close to 0. I'm very glad that you are grounded on those issues, because those are some issues that can actually make impembe ingaphakami. Also, one thing I want to raise with you is the question of doing pap smears annually. It's very important. Taking ARVs and also doing pap smears annually is
Yeah.
that's wonderful. That's very wonderful.
Very support, not only for because I once heard also, Doc, particularly for women that are living with HIV, cervix cancer becomes a concern. So that's why pap smear, you want to just continue making sure that everything's fine in the cervix, you want to. So absolutely annually.
Critical. What can you say to our viewers as a closing remark before we part ways?
I think from my side, life goes on. Just be showing who you are. It takes time. Yeah, when I didn't, from my diagnosis in 2013, it took me, as I've said, about 6-7 years to disclose to my own family because I understood the challenges of having to disclose. So, but it takes courage. Yeah, it takes a lot, but you get there. So don't be hard on yourself. And if you're looking, if you are someone who's looking for a relationship, you will find someone. There are people out there, yeah, that are well informed, that are well, educated in this matter, particularly for people that are HIV positive. So you'll be fine. Life definitely goes on.
Cool.
So my advice is that, to men specifically, is that they must be able to separate between HIV and the person. These are two different things. And then so number two is that whoever is not HIV positive must be able to create an environment, a conducive environment for someone to talk. Because if you fail to do that, I was making a healing and a healthy relationship between the two of you.
Wow, that's a nice closing shot. And thank you very much for sharing your lives with the rest of the country and the rest of the world. This will go a long way to reduce stigma around HIV, also to push important lessons of the quality of life that people can live honestly after diagnosis. Thank you so much. On behalf of Head to Toe with Dr. T, we have had so much good lessons from what you've gone through, and thank you for sacrificing yourselves for the sake of the rest of the world. Thank you.